Um, yeah, so, I think when I started, I had, pretty much tried everything to manage my lifestyle, my workout, my body weight. And, and I guess I was at a point where, some things seemed to be working. I was doing Noom and that was okay, but I wasn't getting the results I wanted. And I would say I was really focused on my body weight. Like, I think that it started where I grew up, I was a fat kid. I mean, nothing, that's who I was. I was a really large kid, like a much larger kid. And even as an adult, I was, probably nearly 100 pounds more than I am today. So I carried this uh, weight literally before I started of how heavy am I? And no matter what I do, I don't know, nothing seems to be working, and I must keep running every day to lose weight. I mean, so that's where it started. That's where I was before I read the Mitch Calver article in the Free Press.
So that's what made you reach out then? It was an article. What kind of
Yeah.
resonated in the article that made you think, oh, maybe there's a better way?
You know, it was, I would just say it was so well researched. I'd read all the fitness stuff for all my life from everybody, read all the blogs, that article had really factual, research-based analysis. So that struck me. That resonated. And the second thing resonated was this sort of 3 inches, 30 pounds guaranteed. I mean, it wasn't a guarantee or money back, or maybe it was. I don't know.
Never win
Uh,
money back, but we promised that result in 90 days anyway.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So the two things were just the strength of the research seemed was impressive, and the approach that you outlined in that article made sense with the limited knowledge I had, and then the results you were aiming for were appealing. So, yeah.
Beautiful. So once you got on board, were there any aha moments in early going that said, okay, maybe this is different. Maybe I can do this, even if I feel like I've tried it all. Like, was there anything specific or more of a gradual change?
Um, in terms of what I noticed early on, and what I noticed, I mean, um, well, yeah, first of all, I've never drank so much water and peed so much. I've never, uh, eaten so much protein, and had to do tons of research about all the protein opportunities and hacks. But yeah, no, like early on, I would say, after sort of recalibrating my life a bit, like, so that I was following the big five or whatever we call them. Like that, there was a period of, okay, am I doing this right? Is the weigh scale really accurate? I mean, all these things. But yeah, I would say within 6 weeks for sure. Yeah, the difference was obvious, and then it just kept going from there for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. And it was a pretty, over those first 6 months, roughly 30 pounds. I don't know if my timeline's perfect, but it was pretty
Yeah,
steady drop and then stabilized and
yeah.
recomping and fighting and let your body will fight back at this point. But what have your specific results been, like the measurable stuff and then immeasurable stuff, benefits to your life
Yeah.
after?
Well, yeah, I mean, I have effectively maintained, with a little bit more progress on the 30 pounds and 3 inches. I mean, I haven't gone much past after that first 6 months. I haven't like dropped a whole bunch more weight. But for sure this summer I'm slimmer, leaner than I've ever been,
Mhm.
clothes fit. I put on a pair of shorts yesterday that a size 34. I was pushing 36 to 38. The scale is more friendly. Um, my energy level has definitely increased. My ability to focus, like in life, has
Mhm.
like I think I've become way more like even things like surprisingly, like budgeting and like our financial things. Like I've become way more willing to be more disciplined about everything, like many things in life. So it's a really kind of a weird side benefit, but I think when you live the routine, I joke with my wife and my friends that I call it my jobs every day. Like, you have to brush your teeth every day, right? You have to take a shower every day. You have to get 7 hours of sleep. You have to get your exercise. You have to get your water. Like these habits have become genuine habits that you just do every day. You don't tell yourself, oh, today I won't do it. It's like, you're not going to brush your teeth. Like, you're really not going to brush your teeth. You're gonna drink your water, get your sleep, get your steps in, get your protein in, and do the jobs. I always say, have you done your jobs today? Right. So it's become, and that's, I think, spilled over into, we got to get our budget under control. We got to save for Bronwyn's wedding. Like, I think that thinking about, here's what we owe ourselves and our bodies. Let's do that in our work. Let's do that in our personal life, right? If that makes sense. Yeah.
Totally. There's a crossover for sure. And discipline, it's a learnable skill like anything else,
Yeah.
but it becomes less about discipline and just more about habit, system,
Yeah.
identity, right? At a certain point, you kind of cross that chasm and never look back. And that's really what you've done, which,
Yeah.
speaks to the results you have. So is that what you're most proud of? Just the consistency, the showing up? Is there anything else that kind of jumps out from you personally? Like,
I mean, I am proud of how, like, I've never missed a workout really. Like I like a couple of years ago, you wouldn't have said you're that guy. Like,
mhm.
but like I've just, that's been a surprise. I don't even know what that's about, but I think it is about the feedback loop that comes with working out. Like everybody says, right? There's a sort of a self-rewarding thing. So I'm kind of most proud of the fact that, like, the workout has just become a routine. Um, I would also say I'm probably at a point where I've almost lost the obsession with my body weight. Almost. I mean,
Wow.
as I shared with you recently, psychologically, you always see the fat kid in the mirror. Like, it's
Mhm.
just part of, if you've been heavy as I have been most of my life, but like my obsession with, oh, what's that scale say? Is almost gone, right? So I think I'm proud of that perception shift, that it really isn't really about the weight. I mean, it is about weight, obviously, at some, like, it's a part, but it's not really about that. It is about how you look. It is about how you feel. It is about how the clothes you fit. And yeah, some of that is about what's on the scale. But, I was actually just looking at uh, when I was celebrating my 60th birthday, I was looking at a baseball player's stats on the screen in Arizona, and he was exactly my height and exactly my weight, and he's playing Major League Baseball. And I'm thinking, okay, well, so get over yourself. Like,
Yeah.
you still have a small tire around your waist, and he obviously doesn't, but, like, get over yourself. You're a healthy weight, even if the BMI index might still push you towards the slightly obese, or, anyways. So yeah, two things I'm proud of. I'm proud of the way I've been relentless on my workout, and I'm proud of the way I think I've almost made the shift out of body weight is everything, right? Which is
Mm.
not, that's a big hill to conquer, right?
No
Given
doubt. It's ingrained in all of us. And then it becomes more about health span, versus lifespan. Obviously, you're extending your life, likely
right,
speaking, based off all
right,
these behaviors, but the
yeah,
quality of those years,
yeah,
you got a bit
yeah,
of a spare tire left over. That's negative. That's such a low risk factor for anything.
yeah,
That little
yeah,
extra fat and the health that comes with where you are now
yeah.
is compounded into everything else that you talked about. It's awesome. And yeah, we have to get you your 500 club workout trophy because you've
Well,
hit that
no, maybe
mark. Way.
we'll just get to 1,000 and
Yeah, well, that's
just
a
skip
big
it.
one. There's only been two of those ever given out, so
Yeah, yeah,
gotta
yeah,
go all out on that one. But
yeah, yeah.
What would you say then to your former self, like someone on the fence about getting help, that's tried it all, thinks nothing will work, particularly a coach that's an investment? Would you tell, and by all means, be honest, like what would you tell that person if they're not quite ready, and also if they feel ready, and this is just
Yeah.
putting gas on the fire, right?
Yeah, and like I would say to them, listen, you've tried everything and where are you at? Like, are you happy with what you've tried? Did the keto work for you? Did the Mediterranean work for you? I can tell you that this works, and I could tell you it works based on science. I could tell you it works based on my results. And so I think if you're really prepared to be accountable, and by accountable I mean literally counting. Can you count your calories? Can you count your steps? Can you be accountable to a coach? If you're ready to be accountable and you're ready to be honest and no bullshitting, like if you're ready to say, yeah, that butter was 50 calories and I added it, like if you're ready to be honest and you're ready to be accountable, get off the fence and get on with it, right? So
I love
that's
it.
what I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah, I call it the 3 C's now, like having a coach, that expert guidance, community, peer-to-peer support. There is a
Yeah.
layer of accountability with that. And it all kind of leads into consistency. And I know if
Yeah.
I'm stuck in some area of my life, I'm missing one or all of those 3 C's, and it's usually a
Yeah.
quick fix. Combine
Yeah.
those three, and you just prop yourself up. You put yourself in
Yeah.
an environment for success, and that's really all you can do, and then it's about showing up as best you can. Well, I appreciate it, Terry. You really nailed it on the head. Everything you said in this call really summarized what we try to teach to people. They have to be ready, but when they're ready, combine those 3 C's together, and you're going to set yourself up for the
Yeah.
best possible success.
Yeah. Good. What,
Appreciate it.
how are things going?